The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. It's the Thursday episode. Special guests in the room because Brian Frangie is, not because Brian Frangie isn't here, but he, again, is coming back next week. You'll hear all about his wedding and his honeymoon, which we covered a little bit on the show yesterday if you missed it. What do you... That's my mom, everyone.
Dismissed.
She doesn't use proper nouns.
Missed.
She just talks in verbs.
Exactly.
Yeah. You look pretty today, Mom.
Well, thanks. I
like your
came from the
lipstick.
circus.
You look like Dorothy.
Do I look like the circus?
No, she did just come from the circus.
You wore white pants to the circus?
And you wore white pants to the circus. Good question.
Why not?
I don't know. Noah, what? Dirt? Yeah, is there dirt in the
No.
circus?
It's
Benches?
very clean.
Okay.
It's a clean big top.
Did they have
freak
those
show, the little,
motorcyclists
like-
that go round and
Oh,
round?
no, they did not.
How do you know that?
No, they didn't.
Nikki
Did
told
they have
us
that?
all about it. That's her
Yeah, because
biggest
you sent
fear.
that on the chain. Remember, I sent you a picture of a flower that had a bunch of holes in it to scare you.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Because I hate those motorcycles
those
going round and round.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Was that there?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
Get the fuck out.
Yes.
Do you get anxiety watching that?
Oh, my God. No, there were several very dangerous things going on there. I'm not
hate
kidding
that.
you.
What was my first word as a child?
Dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would point out things that were dangerous.
You would not. You would not have liked it. Your dad was even scared. He was like acting.
Hate
kind of
that
weird.
shit. Yeah. And then first thing I asked my mom when she came in today. Oh, by the way, Taylor's here, Anya's here, and Noah's here. So Taylor's back because we have to cover Matchbox 20 last night. She was not going to be here today, but I was like on the way home last night. I go, you got to come back tomorrow because you were a part of the Matchbox 20 full experience, even though my mom was
Magic.
also there. But I asked my mom, were there any animals at the circus? And she said yes, because she felt shame because she knew I was going to get on something.
I didn't hire them. I mean,
Paid money to go see these abused
how do I know
animals.
that there's going to be camels
Yeah.
and whips?
And dad said that it was kind of cool. Like, oh, it's cool that they're doing that. And you go, you know how they got them to do that, right? They beat them profusely.
It was
I'm
kind
glad
of
you brought-
exotic. The way this woman was dressed, and she just guided them with their 4 camels in a line, and anyway, it was looked.
And then they were
had
dogs.
They had a great band, which like played really exotic, music. Like,
Okay.
so it seemed.
Were the kids like excited about this?
Yeah,
They liked it?
yeah. Oh yeah, kids were.
Honestly,
would've
this
clowns
sounds
were
exactly like our
mortified
time
by it.
in Jerusalem. There were camels,
Really?
kids, and dogs.
So many camels
Oh, did they
wearing
these-
like a lot of like face jewelry.
She was kissing these camels.
Who was the woman?
The woman.
Oh, well,
The
that's
exotic
so
woman.
sweet.
Yeah, they
It's
don't beat
like when
them.
you kiss someone after you
They
beat
don't beat
them, you
those.
kiss their bruise. It's like
yeah.
that Wilco song.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Black
it
eye.
was cute for you to kiss my purple black eye, even though I caught it from you. Caught it from you.
Oh.
I still think we're serious. Good job, Mom.
Oh my
At
God.
least
know
that's
that's-
what you said.
I
It's
know
called
that
At
better
Least
than
That's What You
Taylor
Said.
Swift.
That's true.
Sure.
I stay out too late.
Please don't.
Okay.
Honestly,
Please,
I don't
just
want
try.
it.
Just try a couple. I stay out too late.
I
went on a date.
No.
Got nothing in my brain.
That's what people say. Mm-mm. That's what people say. Mm-mm.
I go on too many dates,
I was right.
but I can make them
stay.
Yes. At least that's what people say. There you go.
Mm-mm. That's what people say.
Good job. Okay, you got it. Okay, we're done. That is
Terrible.
No, it's good. You're getting it.
Oh,
This
I
is
got
just about
one word in
repetition.
there.
No, it's about repetition.
think
We have
Julie-
to work on it.
I think Julie should sing in a lower octave because you have a really good lower octave voice, and then
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
she
harmonize
does.
with Nikki.
I know. I
You
really
should do
need
your
to learn.
gravelly, your
Gravel Gertie.
Well, yeah, that was your nickname also with Pig Woman back in the day. My mom had like a series of really unfortunate
Woman.
nicknames.
Yes.
Why?
Because she was a little bit chunky as a kid.
Chunkers.
And then
I like how you're a woman, though.
no,
One
I
of
was
our
a
fans-
child.
Yes.
Like
had a
4 and
one of our
5.
fans, I told you this, she DM'd
was
the
a
show
pig
and
woman
said that
too.
her mom or her aunt or someone was also a pig woman around the same time. And so
couple.
we looked up. Oh, really?
A couple, I think it was like two people who said that like their parents were called
Yeah,
pig
it's
woman.
a phrase
Pig
of the
girl.
time.
Or pig girl would have been more
pig
appropriate because you were a
baby.
girl
Yeah,
at the
I
time,
was
but
a
then they
pig
made you a woman.
woman. Yeah.
And it's like, that's not funny.
I was a
because
woman
There was a
too,
character
though.
named Pig
What were
Woman
you?
in the comics.
Bug woman.
Someone called you bug
I don't
woman?
know.
My dad, because it's short for tater bug, but he calls me
Oh.
bug woman.
But you are a
But I
bug
was a
woman.
child.
You love bugs.
I know, you didn't
preserve
know
bugs.
that.
What's your most exotic bug? What's the coolest bug you have?
Our friendship butterfly.
Thank you.
The pelicanid wasp was my favorite thing. So we're
Pelicanid
asking-
wasp.
Yes.
And why is that so exotic
They're
and
just kind
important?
of hard to find. They have a long ovipositor, which is their little butt goes like this and it sticks the eggs in and it goes.
Okay, is this wasp, how did you find it?
I just sought it because I like it a lot, and I
Flying around
this
or
was so
dead?
long ago, alive, and I found out where they would hang out.
And then you killed
I
it?
kill,
How did you kill it?
murder. I put them in the freezer so they go to sleep.
That's like kind of a peaceful death. If they
Casey
did that to the
Anthony.
camels, I would be into that. Wait, that's what they did to Casey Anthony?
Well, something like that.
They put her in a freezer. Oh, sleepy,
Wait,
sleep.
You should know this, Nikki.
What about Casey Anthony?
Yeah. How
Well,
do
that's
you
not
know?
proven.
No, but where did you come up with that?
She
I'm
is a sleuth.
Oh, it's more than
She
you.
knows more about John
Gumshoe.
Benet than anyone I know. She
wow.
knows more about JFK assassination than
Except Anya's dad.
except Anya's dad, who's an
Who
expert
I
on
can't
it.
wait to meet. I
God.
just
Jerry
realized.
Cross, if you
Oh
want to
my
look
God.
up his
Jer.
YouTube videos on the JFK assassination.
They're so good. Such
and then
good graphics.
Columbine, Taylor is. I asked her yesterday on the way to Matchbox 20. I go because we were talking about like the Idaho house. You know where those murders were in Idaho that we're all talking about. They're going to tear down the house because this town is being like harassed by TikTokers and YouTubers, and all these internet sleuths are coming and taking pictures outside of it, and it's just turned into like a fucking media zoo nonstop since it happened in
A
October.
circus, some might say.
Yeah, there's camels there.
There's
There's
abuse
and
going
a
on.
beautiful exotic woman kissing them, which makes it okay for some reason. And then,
She's hot.
so they're going to tear down the house. And I was asking Taylor, like, is that a normal thing? Because she goes to see a lot of murder places. She went to a cave that Charles Manson hung out in, and it took her like an hour and a half to find the cave.
In California?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. What's the cave called for people who are Manson
Well,
heads?
the place where they lived was Spawn Ranch.
Spawn Ranch.
Spawn, SPAHN.
Spawn.
You know?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you were
Let's
around back
go.
then.
Let's go.
They could have gotten
Yeah.
you.
I
I'm
found
sure
the cave.
that's
I
not-
posed in front of it.
Oh, it's still there?
Yeah.
Wow.
You usually got to, go on this
Well,
person's
I asked
property.
her, I go, would you ever want to go to Columbine with me? And she was like, yes. I was like,
Of course.
we were in Denver this past weekend for Brian's wedding, and Chris, we had a little bit, our flight was at like 6 or 3:40 or something. And we were driving out, and he's like, do you want to stop in Denver or anything to go to lunch or like find it? And I was like,
We know what Peggy or
can we go to
Peggy,
Columbine?
Nikki
Did you
wanted
call me
to-
Peggy? Thank
Sorry
you.
about
She's
that.
rich and
I
successful.
thought she was going to call you Pig Woman. We know what Pig Woman wanted to do.
Well, that's who started the pig woman.
Oh, your sister Peggy?
Yeah.
Oh, how dare she?
Oh,
Did you ever ask her why she said woman instead of child?
Because it's funny.
Because it's 70s, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
I don't-
80s.
Yeah, and it was
kind of thing.
it was women's lib. They were just trying to empower every girl to be a woman.
Like she was into that.
Pig person.
But yeah, I even said to Chris, joke. I didn't say it jokingly, but he thought it was a joke. I was like, we could go to Columbine, and he like laughed. And you know how like when you present something serious and someone laughs it off, and you're too embarrassed to present it again. It's like, no, I actually want to do that. But I've been like 3 times now. But I want to go back. But Taylor is going to go with me.
Wasn't it kind of redone?
Yeah, but it
Can't see
still
the
has.
window that guy hung out of.
Yeah, but the
crazy
windows
spot.
kind of look still the same. And it's
What do you
just,
mean
and
hung
it's
out
beautiful.
of?
He kind of, there was a victim, I forget his name. I used to,
didn't know what
I
he was
memorized all the
doing.
victims' names at one point on a plane ride because I felt really bad that I'm so obsessed with it, but I don't know the victims' names. So I had them all memorized at one point, all like 11 or 12. And
Wow.
that's bad that I can't even
I think
remember the
his name
number.
was Travis.
But I forget which one he is. He survived though. He's paralyzed, but I think he's paralyzed. You can watch live footage of him like he crawled across the library and jumped out the window, and they pulled him out. He's bleeding all down and his leg was completely shattered, and he's pulled himself. And I think the shooters were still active at that time. But I was telling Taylor yesterday, sorry, this is a little Columbine, little detour. That of all the books I've read, I never got this piece of information. I got it from the subreddit, is that a lot of mass shooters that plan this kind of stuff, the reason why I'm always like, why didn't they kill more people? They have like AR-15s. They can just go, and there's people hiding. Like they get bored. First of all, if they're psychopaths, they get bored with it because it's just like, that's not as great as I thought it'd be. Or they don't understand. They've only played like Dune or like these video games, so they don't really or they've seen in movies. They don't understand the smell of death. They don't understand how crazy it is to look at someone's bone fragments splattered. Like they get disturbed by it, so then they start having trauma responses and crying.
my God.
And so the Columbine killers could have killed a bunch of more people because there were still tons of people hiding, and who they saw, but they didn't because it was becoming to the point where they weren't picking them off across a field or whatever, which is a little bit easier to, not easier, but like not as gruesome. But they
were too close.
Probably stopped because it was all going to have to be point blank, and they were getting sick, and they were kind of they were just getting horrified by what they were doing. And Eric broke his nose on the gun
Wait,
backfired.
how do you know this? Because they didn't live to tell this.
Well, they didn't live to tell us, but this was a theory that someone said of like, why didn't they kill more people? Why did they kill themselves in the library? Kind of like when people were still in there, kind of like.
It was an hour and a half or something before the cops came. They could have killed everyone in the school.
They could have just done so much more. And that was one person's theory of like, they didn't realize the smell. I thought that particularly the smell was an interesting detail of like, do you read stuff like this?
But doesn't it take a little bit of time?
Yeah, but
the
like
smell
people
happens, like putrefaction
poop and pee and like blood coming out.
But I thought that too, Noah. But it's like it's all that. It's like all bodily functions. People, just the smell of death,
of like terror. Everyone's crying and begging,
and blood. Like blood has a pungent smell, and just the smell. I don't think the smell of a rotting corpse is what I'm talking about. It's more like the blood everywhere. So anyway, back to Matchbox 20. Circuses.
My heart blood is everywhere. From Rob
check your
Thomas.
bingo cards. I can't believe Columbine wasn't on that. Okay, so last night we went to Matchbox.
Matcha box. That's
It's like the past. The past is the
The
past.
past is just the past.
Well, we realized that's not his quote, right?
Oh, yeah. Wait,
Oh, I
it
knew
is
it
his quote,
wasn't
but
his
it's from a
quote.
different book.
It's Faulkner. I knew it wasn't
it's William
Harry.
Faulkner.
I just thought it was sweet the way
It was
said,
Harry Faulkner.
The past is past. The past is never past.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
Past.
yesterday's episode, Anya thought it was really funny in the audiobook of Prince Harry. He starts with a quote from William Faulkner, and it's like, but he doesn't say past, he says the past. And it says past a bunch in it, and it's just really funny.
Twice.
We played it.
But for some reason, it's very funny.
Twice
to me.
is enough to be a lot. a bunch.
Well, he is British.
Right. So we expect him to say. It would be weird if he said past.
It would be so weird.
Like
we
the
wouldn't
one
like him
word
as
process.
much.
No, we'd be like, what a phony. He's trying to be American. I mean, they can't fucking
He's
do anything without us
whinging
making.
again.
Yeah. Oh, and you know who I was talking about yesterday that I was like really disappointed in, who was like going off on them, being like, he's a whinging little bitch. He grew up in a royal family. Oh, wah. It was Kelly Osbourne. Because I was really disappointed because I usually like her.
Yeah.
But I think she's hungry.
Oh.
She looks very, very, she's on Ozempic for sure. And so is her mom, Sharon. Her mom, Sharon, you wouldn't recognize her.
You're kidding.
She looks anorexic.
Oh, man.
No shade.
the look.
I've been anorexic. So but she definitely looks like she's wearing baggy clothes to cover up how thin she is. So Ozempic works, peeps. Okay. So, but you have to be on it the rest of your life, by the way. You never get to get off of it.
So you cannot get off.
No, or you gain it all back.
What is it? Speed?
Oh,
I
it's
read
diabetes
Was it
meds.
Noah that sent me that article? There's an article like, there's an Ozempic finger now. And it's like, women are going to their jewelers in droves,
bulimia?
getting their rings resized because their fingers are shrinking.
Oh, I thought it was like Ozempic finger is like when you
From barfing.
put your finger in your throat and barf and you
No.
get like a little dot on it or something. Yeah, everyone's on it. But what was I gonna? Okay, so Matchbox 20. This is the whole crew. I told you yesterday on the show that like I asked Rob Thomas for 12 tickets, which is just
Unbelievable.
insane. Can I just read what I wrote to him so we
Yeah,
all
I
understand that I'm not a crazy person?
I honestly was like, oh, wait,
worked.
These people are coming too?
I said, okay.
more people kept
Rob,
coming.
hi. You're coming to St. Louis next week, and I'm so freaking excited. Please forgive me for asking you for comps, but that is exactly what I'm doing. I will be buying tickets if I don't hear back, so please feel free to ignore this. He said, are you kidding? Of course. Let me know what you need, and we will set it up. I said, I love you. We'll let you know how many ASAP. Thank you, Rob. And then he got back to me, and then I said, I'm so embarrassed because I cast too wide of a net. asking my friends and family to go. I thought they'd say no because of kids and such, but they are all huge fans and so excited. I have 12 people willing and able to go. I am so sorry to ask for that many, and I can and gladly will pay for some or all of them. And then he said, let me ask my tour manager. I don't have any other guests, so it could be okay. Anyone coming back has to test first. Sorry, we've had COVID cases knock out some band members. And I realized that COVID, because Taylor was like, we have the COVID test. And I'm like, COVID, yeah, we're all kind of like over it. And if you get it, it's like, just keep going to work, whatever, if you can.
Like, you have
but
to go
like
to work
a singer is the only person that really gets knocked out by COVID. I mean, I know people get very sick and can't like sit up straight, but like, it attacks your you can't fuck with that. And Rob Thomas, as we know, is a singing god. A vocal titan. He is one of the best vocalists going. Fight me on this. I'll win. It doesn't matter,
He's
right?
amazing. I've never even known who he was. Really? Yeah. But when you played the
lied
music,
and said you were a big fan.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Well,
I ran 6 songs by you, and you knew them.
Yeah, I knew. I didn't even know I knew them.
Yeah.
But
they are that band that I was telling Taylor yesterday, if you don't like Matchbox 20, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're just, there's nothing, there's got to be something for you in it. It does not, it's not like, he's not trying to be like someone like Train or Maroon 5. You can't group them with other 90s, 2000 bands that are kind of in the same genre because there's nothing about him. He's just writing his heart. He's not trying to like manipulate it all. Chris and I were talking last night about the song 3 a.m. and Chris was like, I kind of thought he was in that vein of guys that's like trying to get laid with music, like because like the 3 a.m. song. And then I told Chris last night at the concert, I was like, because we were talking about this, I go, there's nothing about his lyrics. There's nothing like he's not, you know how artists like a lot of times, especially like they're just trying to be hot and stuff. He's never trying to be, he's just
he didn't have to try.
But 3 a.m. you could maybe argue is a little bit of like, mothers be good to your daughters, like trying to get laid song. Cause it's like, I must be lonely. I don't know. You could argue that.
It's like, best latte that you ever had.
What is that? Oh yeah. Train. But you know why it's not? Because it's a song about his mom with cancer. So it has nothing to do with a woman. So it's like, it's sincere from his heart. He loves women. He's so sweet. I love his songs. He's like a male Taylor Swift to me. Like he really captures emotions in a way that resonate with me. We're going to talk about our experience at Matchbox 20 because it's kind of insane when we get back from this. All right. So I get everyone's going to Matchbox 20, but I only have 5 passes to go backstage. And no one can get there early enough except me and Taylor to go backstage because you got to be tested, and we had to get there at like 6. And so Taylor and I
you were going to go backstage pre-show or post?
Pre-show.
Yeah, before the concert?
Pre. He does pre. Yeah, to hang. I think he did a meet and greet at like during the sound check with people, and then I guess friends can come back and hang. The show started at 7:30, so we got there. We got COVID tested.
I heard the Wallflowers opened.
They didn't.
That's
It was
what
Matt
Colin said,
Nathanson.
too.
But the Wallflowers were supposed to. But Matt Nathanson was amazing too. I know.
It was good though.
Yeah, it would have been cool
Solo
to see.
or with
Where
a band?
Band.
Where did you guys watch that?
And it's so weird because the drummer for Liz Phair contacted me on Instagram weeks ago and was like, hey, if you ever want to come to a Liz Phair show, I'm a drummer for her and we'd love to have you. And I was like, that's awesome. I would love to go. I'll check out her tour. And then he was the drummer for Matt Nathanson, but I didn't realize it until I got home and he DM'd me and was like, that was me on your Instagram. And it was so weird. Anyway, so everyone's connected. What did you ask?
Well, where did you watch the pre-band?
Well, we
Next
got there.
Rob.
We come in and they are waiting for us. The police are like, come on in. I'm driving your beat old jalopy. I'm embarrassed. The license plate is bent on the front because I always get too close to my gate and it like pulls it up and it's like crunched into a little
tent.
It's a tent.
I tried to kick it back.
I know it won't.
I need to examine that car.
I'm
the
glad
next
it's
time.
like that because the stickers I haven't put on because I lost the stickers. So the plates are paid for, but
The
It's St.
registration.
Louis.
If they ran, it'd be okay,
Yeah, the
I think.
registration stickers. They're expired.
I went to a lot of trouble
But
to
I would.
get those.
I know, but I
the cops
I
are
went to a lot
waving
of
you
trouble to
in.
lose them.
I love this.
So the cops wave us in. We get in, and yeah, I've been driving with unregistered plates since November. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They are paid for. If I get pulled over, I'll just be
They'll
like,
just run it, yeah.
I'm not drunk. I don't care. Like, I won't be any. I'll be like, hi, cop. Yeah, I have the sticker, but they were on the back of the Star Spangled Banner that I wrote down when I was singing at the parade, and I dropped it somewhere along the parade route because I was the fucking marshal of the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yeah. Sorry, I sang the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, sorry, I honored
America. God.
No, I feel like it'll be a good story and we'll all have fun. I don't feel like going to the DMV. Who cares? What's it going to save me? A $200 ticket? I don't care.
Okay.
Maybe most people would, but I just
If it's $5,
If I was paying $200 if someone paid me $200 to go to the DMV and wait, I wouldn't do it. So
that
why?
one down the street's quite
I
nice.
will go for you for $200.
No, I don't think it's. But I might get out of the ticket entirely. So I don't look like her. So
Very young, actually.
So, oh yeah, remember we used to get Taylor, just real quick, the other day at a nail salon, what happened to you?
Mary, my enemy, thought that I went with my sister, who's a year and a half younger than me, and she said to us, "Oh, mother-daughter," meaning that I was Corey's mom.
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be
I
fucking
have
kidding me.
never. I was like,
Unbelievable.
what? I was like, I'm 1 year older than her. I had her when I was 1. And the girl next to her
people
went,
ever
no
guess?
tip for Mary. And I was like, that's right, bitch. So I don't go there anymore.
Marry
It's the
your new
heroin.
enemy.
I'm going to
hate
tip you as many
Mary.
dollars as my daughter is apart from me. That is insane.
God, nobody
I
comment
would
about
still
this.
be
Like you look
no,
older. or anything.
no
Don't
one would
comment.
do that.
She was joking.
You don't know what my sister looks like. She looks older. You don't even know. She doesn't. She's fresh.
But, you know, your sister has a Benjamin Button, and so she looks very young. That is, oh wait, I guess it's the other way. That is so awful, and I would still be recovering from that.
I
And I'm
am.
glad
I
that
think
you
about
could
it every day. I'm like, I'm gonna get whatever cream Mary uses. She's like 70 and like 12.
Remember, one of our friends was just saying their housekeeper was like about her husband. They were like, "Is that yours?" What did they say? Like, so
Oh,
we're not-
you're much
is there a
older
big
than
age
him.
gap
Oh, yeah,
between you two?
you're
And she's like, I'm
even.
1 year older than him. And she's like, it's a big
No, they're the
age gap.
same
Like,
age.
she was almost like proud of Hala for being like, you're
a
like,
kook.
oh, good job. You got a young man.
my
he's
God.
our age.
He was probably like wearing a beanie and like scuffling around.
I
like
think the way he
he's
dresses
youthful.
is youthful. Yes. And he is a
Always
youth-
has a beanie.
Are we talking about John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Hala's husband. But that is just devastating. People just shut the
rude.
fuck up
Shut
about like
up.
trying to guess
or
people's
being
relations.
like, "How many months along are you?" Don't ever
Yeah.
ask anyone
Oh,
that.
don't ever.
Wait, what?
Because
Oh,
sometimes
oh.
they're like,
Well, what if
"I'm
they're very pregnant?
bitch."
What if they're like
sometimes you don't
obviously
know.
bowling ball pregnant?
No,
I think
sometimes
everyone
people
who
have,
asks
like,
that
they're
thinks
on
you're
meth.
obviously pregnant, and then they're like,
I've never done it. I always just got, but then sometimes they're like 9 months, they're in labor, and I'm just like, so I'm just like keep
Then I
looking
guess
at your
it's fine.
eyes. I just can't. There's like my door woman downstairs. Donetta, she is awesome, but she was like getting little chunkers for a while, and I was like, but it was like in the front, you know, and it wasn't anywhere else, but I didn't want to say anything, so I didn't. And then she eventually was just so big that I was like, when can you? Do they have to say it?
No,
first?
you're not allowed to say it.
As you
Period.
I don't know
should.
if you are, man. I don't know.
As you should. What? Wait, what is
What
our
you
response
said?
to?
When can you?
When can I? Do you know what As You Should is from?
No.
Okay, I was at a concert, or I was at Adam Sandler with Chris in like a box, or no, Chris Rock show, and Dave Chappelle in a box at the Enterprise Center. And at Enterprise Center. I recently did an ad for this event I'm doing at Enterprise Center, and I always call it the Enterprise Center. What?
Yeah, why isn't it?
But they were like, you need to say at Enterprise. So I was just like, I can't wait for this Thanksgiving Eve. I will be at Enterprise Center. I was just like, I couldn't not say it like a robot. Me and Joe Buck were doing this ad. Thanksgiving Eve, if you're in St. Louis, Guns and Hoses. It's where the firefighters and the policemen box each other. I'm hosting it with Joe Buck.
You don't know about that, Taylor.
I have heard about the
St.
fight.
Louis tradition.
Huge, but not that it's called
And
Guns and
people
Hoses.
still smoke cigarettes in this thing.
I'm going there.
Ew, disgusting.
Hell yeah. I'll be there. Put out this.
I'm sure that's not true anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's true.
Yeah,
They were smoking cigs at the
as
Riverport.
they should.
So Chris Rock is talking about someone shitting on Nancy Pelosi's
desk. Yeah, he's like, and then he shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk. He said something, and he was making a point about something else. It was just a contextual thing. And this drunk idiot next to me, this girl goes, as they should, as they should, as they should. And I go, as they should. And she leaps up from her chair and gets in my face and is like, yeah, what do you want about it? And I was like, I put up my hair in a ponytail on the way out because I was ready. I was going to say some shit to her. And I did. I gave her boyfriend a really dirty look. Like, what are you doing with this fucking piece of trash?
Yeah.
And
as they should.
I'm sure they're married with kids now.
You should shit on a desk.
I didn't mean to call her trash, but I did, maybe. That's not a nice thing to call someone, but she was.
They say something like that.
As they should. Like, what?
Why?
As they should have? Wait,
Really?
expound on that. Why is that a good idea?
Exactly.
I wouldn't shit on anyone's desk.
What?
I wouldn't want anyone to ever have shit on maybe like Bill Cosby
or
when
maybe
he gets
her
back home after
poop
jail.
fetish.
It doesn't she's not cleaning it. The janitor's cleaning it.
Yeah.
She's not going to see it or know.
As they should. So we pull in, the cops let us in, and we park right in between buses. I put it on my Instagram. We're like in between this shitty car, your car. That is not shit. It's quite
It's
old.
I like it.
It's a classic Lexus. Get out of here.
It is.
Get in the back seat.
I'll leave. I will get out of here. No, I love it. It's nothing rides smoother than a Lexus.
That car rides like.
Are you doing ads right now?
I'm Uber Eats and Lexuses.
Lexus Center.
Have you ever driven? I don't give a fuck about cars, but I'm not kidding you. A Lexus
That car
drives
smooth.
so smooth.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's different than any other car, and I am not someone who cares about that stuff, but it is a thing.
It's true.
So I'd love the smoothness of it, but the brakes are going out, and I'm probably gonna die.
Smooth.
What's Julie driving?
Smooth. She's driving car. I bought her, so I took her car after I bought her. What did I buy you? A RAV4?
RAV4.
Yeah. Okay. So I park in between
Hybrid.
the buses. Hybrid. Used. 2021, right?
19.
Oh, all right.
Oh, it's that new?
Nikki
It
didn't
looks
spring.
classic.
It's a great car.
So then we get out of the car. I'm like doing my makeup real quick because I thought we were going to COVID test in the car and then I'd have time to do my makeup. So we get in and I'm like, they're like waiting for us. And I'm like, and then we get out. We had to put on masks to wear outside just because they're like, very scared. So we COVID test and then we go wait and we're just hanging out and like talking out in this like outdoor like backstage area that's very nice. And Taylor's pulling all the tags off of the outdoor couch cushions because she's like, these are eyesores. Artists do not deserve to see this
Rob
shit.
didn't deserve it.
Rob did not
it's
deserve it.
huge. Like, do not take off this tag by penalty. Like, the huge ones?
Yeah,
You
she
don't
was-
care
so
about
she
those
was
penalties.
just-
No way, not for Rob.
She was making it nice for the artist. It was very sweet. And then what do we hear?
a heckle from across
the court.
And a sexy man strode forth.
He strode forth. So
like,
Rob
looks like
Thomas,
Rob
all
Thomas,
I
but he
hear
wouldn't come out
is
here.
like something like, "Oh, look at those losers quarantined
In the
over
corner.
there. Look at them. They can't come back to society." It was some kind of heckle like that of like, "Look at those outcasts over there waiting like losers." And it was Rob, and we were like, "Yay!" And then he was like, "I'm gonna go vocal warm up. I'll be right back." And we were like, "Oh." And we were both just like, he looks exactly like when we Googled him yesterday.
When we Googled
He looked so
He
aviators,
looks lean
shaved head.
and tan and lean and fit
He
and
just looked
healthy.
the same. There was a
like
blind
in
woman
his
at the
prime.
show. And he told me he met a blind woman at the meet and greet and that he was going to be most focused on her to see like if she's enjoying the show because she's just hearing her,
Oh my
He was like, I'm
God.
going to be looking at her to know. And I said, I'm going to go up to her and go, did you go blind like later? Or did you ever see Rob Thomas at any point? Because I want you to know, he still looks the same. He looks, if you didn't lose your vision before the 90s, you're looking, just imagine the same Rob Thomas. Because he is the Paul Rudd of rock, okay?
Yes.
No aging taking place at all. It is bizarre.
He looks better.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes off and then we are just like, and then he comes back and he hangs out with us for like an hour plus.
What do you
Over an
talk to
hour.
Rob Thomas about?
Wow.
He's
What are you
so
guys
easy.
talking about?
We talked about, I asked him about his vocal warm up and then I talked to him about
nice.
just like I really was trying to get to talk about performing and songwriting but not in an obnoxious way where he's like, I don't want to do a storytellers right now. Like I was just throwing out little things to see if he bit on any of them in terms of like wanting to talk about certain stuff. And he did. He likes talking about what motivated a song. He was like interested in saying and telling us, well, actually that song is from this time in my life. I got a lot of that, but he was just so funny.
He's such a good question asker. He would relate anything back. Oh, it must be like that in comedy. Like,
Yes.
your voice also has to be like warmed up. And how is that different from
Yeah,
the
he
way
was-
musicians do it?
It was,
like,
and we were talking
So
about,
horny.
and then what was the guitarist's name? I forgot his name now.
I can't remember.
He's amazing
He was
too,
so
and I
sweet,
just
too.
followed him on Instagram last night, but he goes by a different name on there. He's their,
He was male Anya.
he is awesome. Oh my god, that guy
Why?
was
He
so
looks
cool
like
too, and
me?
his wife.
He has glasses and blonde hair, and he's just like really sweet.
They came into the room and were just signing a bunch
Kyle
of
Cook?
posters, and he was
Kyle?
I think it was Kyle.
Yeah,
No, what was the other
Kyle
one's name
Cook.
though?
No.
Paul Doucette.
I think it was Paul.
Okay.
And so he was signing all these posters, and we were talking about, I was like, isn't it cool though that like you practiced that like back in high school? Like, I'm going to be famous someday. I mean, he's a rock star, so he definitely did. And he's like, well, not when you have to do 14,000 of them. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have like 10 to sign backstage at my shows, and it's really fun. But we were all, and he was so nice, and his wife was so cool, and we're just all hanging out talking about comedians, and also like kind of trash, like talking about musicians and like what they do. And then at one point someone asked me like, oh, have you seen Taylor's? I had mentioned going to Taylor Swift's show, and they're like, so which one did you go to? And I was like, 6 of them. And then Rob was like, I love how sad you are. I was like, I'm a really big fan. And I was like, but yeah, and then we were talking about her stamina, but then Rob Thomas went out there and performed for 2 hours and 47 minutes nonstop. And I
What?
gotta say, he could have obviously done 3.5
Really?
hours without any problem as well, 3 nights in a row. I mean,
Wait.
this guy.
What time did he leave? What time was it over?
It was over at
11?
11 something.
Oh,
Wait,
'cause
so
we
the
left
opener
at the
goes on at 7:30, probably plays
Yeah.
till 8:15.
Yeah.
Then there's an
and then
intermission.
they go on at 8:45.
And then he played 3 hours?
No.
9:45, 10:45,
2
11:45.
hours and like 2.5.
2.5 hours.
oh,
Damn.
Well, I was looking at the set list on setlist.fm. It shows like every band's set list, and then it says the running time of the show. And he's usually about 2.5 hours. 2:47 is
because
like,
he said he was going to play 2 hours.
well, it went over
I was
that.
taking him for granted. I'm like, for real.
Well, I had the set list in my hand, so you could have.
Oh.
And I was showing it to you. I was trying to be like, we
Oh.
got 3 a.m., Unwell, and Push as the encore. You gotta stay after the encore. You can't. I can't believe they put those songs in the encore. But everyone stayed. I mean, it was awesome. Not you guys, but
well,
anyway,
the row
we're
emptied out
backstage.
when we left, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Sorry.
No, it was so cool. But then we go side stage to watch Matt. He's like, "You want to go check out the opener? He's amazing." So we watch Matt Nathanson from the side stage, and we're just like rocking out with Rob Thomas on the side stage,
Nice.
just like pointing out people in the audience and being like, "That guy's having the time of his life. Look at that guy. Look at mutton chops. Look at like we're just like not making fun of people, but like commenting." And then the funniest part was talking about. Because I just know that as a woman who like loves his music so much, I know there are so many women out there that are like me that like really are emotional with his music because it is Taylor Swift levels of like poetic and emotions. Like a lot of men don't write feelings as much as a Rob Thomas does, for me at least. And there's something about it that's always gripped me even since high school of like, this guy gets my feelings. And so we were talking about the people at the show. I go, how do you know if someone's, he was talking about someone having a rough show recently. And I said, for me, it's like they don't laugh. But like after your set, you always are going to get applause. Like, how do you know when they like hate you? And he's like, there's just like not moving, or like they got drug along, they got free tickets, and I was like, or their girlfriend brought their boyfriend because they're in love with you and they have an emotional relationship with you, and their boyfriend is sitting there fuming because they'll never ever touch her heart in the same way that you do. And then Taylor went into a thing and she was like, yeah, he makes beer. Did you say that?
No, Rob said.
Yeah, he goes, what did he say? He was like,
like you're an artist and my husband makes beer in the garage.
Yeah, he was like, Rob Thomas is an artist and you make beer in our garage. And so he really resonated with that because he says, I look out all the time. And there is always that of like the person who wants to be there and the person they're with that's like pissed about it. And so that was a really funny moment because I have that too at my shows where like the guy will be super into me and their girlfriend will just be like, ew.
Jealous.
Or the other way around, the guy's like, I don't get this at all. And the girl's like, you're my Taylor Swift. And he's just like, she likes you. I don't get it. And I'm like, I don't either, dude.
So how are they touring? Are they on a bus? How is the
buses,
tour?
5 buses.
7 buses. Or 5 buses, 7 semis or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
How long
What's
is the
in the
tour
semis?
that he's on right now?
I don't know. It's long. I think it's like, it's been going since May and I think it's going to go all summer. So he said it's like spring, summer.
Does he have kids or does is his family
He has
just
one
his
kid.
wife?
He has a kid who's 24 and they open for him at the Hollywood Bowl. His band,
my God, how cool.
the Lucky is the name of the band. And he's, that's so cute. And his wife was on tour with him. She was sick though, and so she was in the bus. She wasn't feeling well, so she was in the bus while we all hung out. But he's just like a wholesome family man, normal. Doesn't think he's Rob fucking Thomas. He's been famous for 30 years, very, very famous. He's friends with. He had great things to say about all these different musicians. I even said something about gossip. He was like, I don't like gossip, but I like drama. I like to be like, what's going on? But he doesn't like
Aquarius.
He's not like he's not like a.
By the way,
He's just a nice person and was so. And I was like, you did not have to. I kept being like, go do what you do. Like we're gonna go to our seats, and he's like, no, this is what I do. Like, well, we're just hanging. So we're just in the backstage area. I mean, it's kind of like our shows, Anya. Like,
that's so
we're just in this
cool.
backstage green room where there's waters and cough drops and coffee, and he's offering us all these things.
He poured my
What are the
beer and he
snacks?
like talked to me, which
Yeah,
was
he
not
poured
necessary.
Taylor
He was
beer.
like so.
He was
like,
so nice to Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah.
He would like lean over and say something to you, and then say, I was like, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
Why is
He would like
doing
share it to both of
Our
us.
cheeks touch.
I have brought friends around celebrities and they ignore my
Yes.
friend. You know,
Yeah,
like it
obviously.
often
I
happens that
expect
way.
to
And
be
that's what you
ignored.
almost expect. But he was like
100%.
treated us as equals. There was no like, and then I don't know. And then the show, I just have to say, like, you gotta go. If you think you like
So
Matchbox 20
good.
at all, you gotta fucking go to a show because I thought I knew every song that I knew. I knew every song minus like 2 songs.
wow.
It was insane how many songs, the hits that they had.
I knew a bunch too, and I didn't even know.
I would say they've
Matchbox
had 25
I didn't know I knew that many
Billboard
either.
100 hits at least.
Yeah.
At this point, as a band, not even to mention, I would guess that's around the number. It's outrageous how many hits they have, and his voice is better than ever. The band is having so much fun. They're running around the stage. They're not just like standing there playing. Like they're so into it. It was a great show, and it rivaled eras for me. Like
Wow.
I told him afterwards, I was like, I've been to 6, you know my history with Taylor Swift. This was up there in terms of watching someone who knows how to fucking put on a show.
He's amazing. That's all I know.
The
Tegan
mic
Sarah tonight
stand
have a-
spin.
How funny was that?
So good.
He like did Jesus on it.
Yeah, he took the mic stand
Sexy
and started
Jesus
whipping it around his head like a
yeah.
lasso. There's a video of it on my Instagram if you want to see. He's whipping it around. Like his band must know that's what he does at that part or something.
They
'cause
stand back.
It would take someone's head
They're
off.
like,
Yeah.
It's like a jagged mic stand with like the splay at the bottom, and he's whipping it around his head all the way like almost like a child, but it looked cool.
Oh my
and
God.
he's just so nice and so cool. And I was laughing so hard during the show because Taylor at one point was like, what if he listens to today's podcast and sees us Googling Rob Thomas aviators, short hair, red shirt, 1997.
me.
And we had just acted so normal with
We were
him,
so
but he
normal.
will then know what we were doing earlier.
He will know
Oh my
exactly.
And I was going to hear this, and I'm like, I'm horny. I'm horny. So like, it was nice of that
Oh
girl.
my God. Yeah.
Not
and you're
that
like,
Yeah,
horny
I'll have
Rob.
a beer. That's cool.
JK.
Thanks, man.
he's totally gonna see like there I want to make a clip of it because that really made me laugh that we got so into specifics of what we wanted from that Google image search of Rob Thomas. But he was just so nice and then after the show I just texted him like I was like, holy fucking shit, that was insane. Like, I just needed him to know how good it was, even though he just probably clearly knows. But it was just, I mean, Mom, do you agree? As someone,
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, you went to Eras. It was up there with that, right? Like, in
It
terms
was-
of an entertainer.
I was so amazed by that guy. Honestly, I couldn't even look at him. I had to look at the big screen. I was like, oh my God, his voice. And I thought he was going to die because honestly,
That really
it was,
made the show for her.
the humidity was
so
so bad
hot.
last
He
night.
even
we
questioned,
were
like,
so
I think I'm
sweaty.
going to wear a denim shirt. And I go, I think it's a little hot.
I
But he
would-
sweated through it within the halfway through the first song. He was,
Yeah.
it was a different color.
No, it kept getting wetter and I thought he's going to
did
take
we.
a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all getting.
He needs water. Someone get this guy some
But he
water.
was, I thought he was going to probably have to change or something
Yeah,
or take
I
like a
thought-
break
he
or
never
like
did,
dive.
did
No, he didn't.
I mean, well, I kept waiting for him to change.
No, it
when
was
he-
just like guzzling water. He didn't care. I mean,
Yeah.
I was worried at first, but then I was like, this guy's a fucking, he's been in
knows.
every environment.
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's the kind of show you want to go to where you're like, I'm in good fucking hands. This is a pro. The whole band is
Yeah.
pro. It's so nuts.
Did he
It
talk
was-
between songs?
only once did he do a little speech of like, it's been a long time since we've seen you. He did a funny thing where he's like, 2020, we were all fucked. 2021, it was still kind of fucked. 2022, that one was on us. We weren't ready yet. And then he's like, but 2023, that we're back. And so that's all he did. And we kind of even talked about like what certain bands or like band leaders will say to the crowd. Because I went to Flaming Lips last week, and I wish Chris were here to recount this, but Wayne Coyne, I guess his name is.
Yes.
I love Flaming Lips, and I love that album, but he wouldn't stop asking people to cheer. It was obsessive, and I'm not joking you. Probably
so annoying.
100 times he would be like, louder, come in, keep going. And we're all tired and standing. I'm like, dude, someone needs to tell him it's
Pay
a
us.
Your
fucking
job.
Wednesday night in St. Louis. And it's the air quality is bad. We're outside. We're all standing. And we were giving it up. I thought it was adequate, but he wanted more and more. Then
hearing it.
He
That
did
is
not
such a
stop.
pet peeve.
Imagine dating
That
him.
and telling people to jump.
No.
Yes.
go away.
What about the
Yeah.
wheelies? Come on now.
What?
People in the wheelchairs. What about
yeah,
them?
they can't jump.
do that. What the
Then
hell?
pop a wheelie.
It's true. But yeah, he kept saying this, and then that didn't. It was not enough for him. And by the way, at a Flaming Lips show, there's gigantic blow up doll type things happening on stage. Gigantic, fills up the whole stage of these huge bears or whatever, and I guess robots that have like penises, and then there's confetti and glitter shooting out the whole night. Then there's like balls they pass around, and there's these big balls that you kind of gotta watch because one might just hit you in the back of the head from behind, and you're like the asshole.
Also
that
don't
gets
like
bonked.
that.
Hate that because now I'm like, her name is Yoshimi. I like can't watch because I'm so worried about the fucking ball hitting me on the head, and everyone going like, "Did you see it smash that girl?" And then I'd be like, "Whoa!" And there'd be like a slow mo video, and then be on Reddit of me being like, "Whoa!"
Ow.
So
Where was this
but
concert?
then he breaks out. This was
Same
at Holly,
place?
but it's like over in a different area. It's like a smaller venue. It's called like the Music Box.
Oh, okay.
In the same area as the Riverport one last night. So then he breaks out a flashlight and starts shining it on areas of the crowd to be like, you need to cheer. And I'm like, I'm on vocal rest, bitch. I'm not cheering. It was, and Chris and I were laughing so hard because he was like, and keep saying, I love you because I feed off of that energy.
Oh, God.
No offense to
Despo.
Flaming Lips. It felt like the first time someone had ever been on stage. Like it felt like that kind of energy. But he was having a blast. I think he might be a little spectrum-y, which is great because it's provided us with great music. But he's just like, and maybe has done a lot of LSD or some kind of drug that makes him like, I just want the love. I want to hear the love.
I always feel sorry for those people that have to clean that crap up.
I know. There's so much to clean.
I mean, all that confetti. Don't
Oh
do
my
that.
God, you have to sweep
It was
over
cool though.
the
The
same
confettis
spot
were little
12 times.
robots because that's like the. And then we were collecting it. We were putting it on this man, and there was a girl at the show.
Man.
So one of the lines in this, there was a man in front of us that there were these hot girls next to us that were like literally probably born the year this album that they were playing came out. It's called Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, and it's an amazing album, front to back, kind of. In the middle, it gets a little, but it's there's this one song like, "Do you realize, ooh, that you have the most beautiful face?" And right before they started playing that song, I told to Chris, and I was like, Chris, the girl to your right at about 3:00 has the most beautiful face in all of St. Louis. She's 100% the prettiest person within 200 miles of us in Missouri, I would say. And then all of a sudden they was like, do you? And I was like, I didn't even realize. And so Chris was like, I was like, I'm going to sing it to her. And so I kept going like, you have the most beautiful. She was stunning. And I wanted to tell her so bad, but I was like nervous. And I was also like, Chris, get a look. You got to check this out. It's the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my life.
Like?
She looked like Natalie Portman mixed with Keira Knightley. Like she had kind of like
kind of the same.
a foxy face,
Yes.
mixed with like Kaya Gerber, mixed with
wow.
Lori Loughlin, like that kind of
Good
like small nose,
examples,
dark
Nikki.
eyes, really like
didn't
but
think it was-
I
long
see
blonde
her.
hair. But then she had fun little pigtails like that were like bun pigtails, and then she had sparkles like on her eyes, like around. Like she was.
That is what you're
I
supposed
can't
to
stop
wear
thinking
to a
about her.
Flaming Lip show.
Yeah, it really was. But she knew every lyric. I was like, these girls are so cool that they were born the year this album came out when I was in college, but they're like on it. So, and they were picking up these little paper mache, like paper robots and putting them on the guy in front of him because the guy couldn't feel it. It was like piling up all this confetti.
And he was sweaty.
And Chris and I were like wanting to be friends with these hot girls. And so we were like, let's like do it with them. And we tried to like do it, but they didn't even notice. And they were probably just like, what are these old people doing this to us? Trying to get in on our game.
Weird
She's like,
parents
this one
over
girl
there.
kept singing at me and I was like turning away.
I have footage of it. I'll put it on the Instagram of me singing to this girl. And you can kind of see her. Her friend was also very beautiful, but not as beautiful as she. No offense to this friend. I know you already feel it. But actually she was right underneath her. They were the two most beautiful people ever. But if you look beyond, that's the girl I'm singing to. And she has pigtails, and I'll put it on the Instagram. Okay, we're going to go to break and we'll talk about something else when we get back. I don't know what. Okay, final thought. Let's play just a tight round of that's impromptu of first best, last best. What is it called?
Top 1 Bottom.
Top one bottom.
First, last, bottom what?
First sex. Who was your first and best sex, Julie?
Oh yeah,
I can't say.
Scandi.
Oh, wait, who was your first sex?
I can't say.
Remember when you told me don't give up your sex?
Yeah.
That was great advice.
I still mean it.
That's so British.
I still mean it.
It's true. It's great advice, and believe me, Chris feels the brunt of that advice ringing true right now. I'm like, my mom told me not to give up my sex. He's like, we're in a relationship. I have
What
to honor
she
my
says.
mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
You're doing good.
So, okay, top one, bottom one. I wanted to do emojis, and I know we've done this on the show before, but never with. We did it with Andrew and me and Noah, so it's been a while. So, and your favorite emoji changes. So it's. And you don't even have to think of your favorite one. You can just think of which one you send the most or use the most.
Okay.
Mom, we'll start with you. Do you have a least favorite emoji? Like that you see.
I don't even know what emojis are out there, but I do know one that bugs me.
Yes, perfect. That's
Okay,
it.
that eggplant.
I knew you were going to say
Why?
that.
Yeah, I had a
Isn't
feeling
that-
too.
Isn't that a penis?
Yeah, but it's like
It does. What?
A
It doesn't
big
even
fat
rep.
penis.
What? It's so gross to think about a penis that looks like an eggplant.
it is. I agree.
So I
Especially
don't
when
even
they do the
understand.
cum. They do that and then they do the splash. So it looks like that thing is coming.
Oh my God.
I'll show you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Julie.
please. Oh, please. That would be great.
I love
can't.
eggplant
It's
too. I mean, it makes my tongue swell, but nightshades.
Really?
Yeah.
The
It's like my
what
favorite
are they
food,
called?
but
Lectins?
Lectins, they really get my tongue.
For
Like,
a
they
year
make
there, I remember when you were like, nope.
What about the
has
baba?
No
lectins.
lectins.
No lectins.
I was obsessed with lectins, and try to do a diet without lectins, you'll die. You can't eat anything. That's why you will lose weight because
No
lectins
tomatoes,
they're
no
like
potatoes.
seeds. Anything with seeds in it are like lectins.
No potatoes?
And you know when you look on any ingredient, it's like soy lectin is in everything. Well, it might be actually.
I didn't know how to watch for that.
So you hate the eggplant emoji. You're not getting sent this any time.
EJ sends
No
it.
one has ever sent me that. I always said, what the hell is this eggplant for?
Yeah.
Now we know
And
where
You
you're
know
going to get
things
commented.
that I go, how do you know this? The other day
Instagram
you
people
were
do
like,
it.
you said someone was love bombing someone, and I go, how the fuck did you know that term? Vanderpump?
She reads.
Maybe.
But how do you
Probably
know
read the
love
love
bomb?
addiction book.
No, she doesn't read.
Sex and
you.
Love Addict Anonymous.
Read this. Read this.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't read about but I'm not. You're not reading
I'm
like
not
the
reading
body
about-
keeps the score or like
No,
getting the love that you want. You're reading
I haven't read
Columbine
either one of
because I gave it to you and
That's
insisted
valid
on it.
stuff.
That's some valid stuff, right? That
Wait,
Columbine.
How did you
My
find out about
nightmares,
love
though.
bombing? Because
I really
we were at
don't
the
know.
cellar and mom said something about like, well, he's just love bombing her. And Rachel finds out and was like, what did you just? How do you know love bombing? Where is your mom coming up with these terms? These
I
you've
love
never
that
been-
term because I don't even know where I found it out, but
Yeah.
when I figured it out, it's like, oh, that's a thing for sure.
Yeah, where people just try to win you over
Just-
by like saying the nicest things and
Right.
gifts and then they whoosh, whip it out.
They whip it away.
They whip it away. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what love bombing is.
I haven't seen the whip away yet.
Well, the love bomb needs to have the whip away.
oh, okay. Well, we're
Otherwise,
waiting.
it's just love. Because my mom was describing someone that we know, and she was like, "He is love bombing her," and I was like, "I think he just loves her."
Well, it's over.
She's
it's
like,
over
"It's
the
too
top.
much. It's too much." I'm like, "Oh yeah, God forbid this guy loves someone too much."
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, but love bombing needs to be whipped away at some point. It needs to
Okay.
be a tactic to trap
okay,
and
why-
then to
Okay. Well,
take
then
away.
I know when to use that.
Okay, now you know. I think it needs that part component. Okay,
Yeah.
emojis. My least favorite emoji is a wink because it's just disgusting and flirty and people throw it on things and it makes everything sexual somehow. And just like any kind of like face emoji, I don't really like. Like no, that's not true because my favorite one is a face.
What about this girl?
The one that's the hands like, I don't know.
I like that one.
I like that one
I
too.
don't like her. She's ditzy.
I like it when it's a
Yeah.
man.
She's like-
because men are allowed to not know, but women should
That's
fucking know.
I've never seen the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
The men- yeah,
Throw
I'm
a
sure
baseball
doing
cap on that one and you're like, okay, I get it. What's your least favorite? Taylor? You have a flip phone, so
I don't know my least favorite, but I know my fave.
okay, just go to that.
The one that like investigation man.
Oh,
with
the
little,
one that's like, oh,
'cause that's
Sherlock
me
Holmes.
all
I
the
like that
time.
one.
And with the raised eye, like he's
monocle.
really getting
Oh, I
to the
like
bottom of
Taylor
it.
has the best
It's whatever.
emojis. One time she sent me one and I took a screenshot of it because I wasn't wearing my readers and I expanded it and I was like, is this a prosthetic arm? And it was. Like she knows all the cool.
It was like
emoji.
a buff one. It was like we can do this, but like prosthetic arm.
Yeah, but it was
Really?
a prosthetic limb.
Because it had like the little attachments at the end, like the little dots on the end.
Yeah.
They're being
Wow.
inclusive now.
That's cool.
Go
So like
figure.
find a crow or like not just the syringe, but like a different kind of syringe. She knows
Because
all
to me
the
they're all
black
novel,
market.
and I get excited to go through them
Yeah.
because I don't get to see them a lot.
I like that we're talking about inclusivity on this podcast. If that person who used that arm was at a concert and someone said, wave your arms in the air, that would be as fuck as saying jump to a bunch of wheelies.
They're like, oh man, I can't again. God.
He's just like, has to take his one arm that works to move the one that doesn't.
No, he'd be kooky and take it off and wave it with the
Yeah,
other
that would be
one.
cool. That would actually be cool.
A kooky take.
Okay, yeah, I do like an investigative one that's just like, I like the ones that are always like, what are you doing here? My favorite, though, I use it all the time now, is the one that's melting.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
that
And
was
it's just
so
like,
cool.
because it's in response to anything. If you fuck up saying something really dumb, if you like are like, that was the best show of my life, I'm melted. If you're like, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna, like, the one that's just melting into a puddle is top notch, everyday use.
He's on acid, I think, too.
Oh.
He's like, whoa.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Brain melted.
Oh, yeah. And
Wow.
mind blown
Wow.
used to be fun, but I think melty guy is the new one. What about you guys?
I like that one. It's very Dali-esque. My least favorite is like the swastika. I think that's kind of rude.
It's overused.
Is there really one?
No.
What the fuck?
Listen, I don't even know. You're like going,
There's a prosthetic
What's your
arm. It
favorite?
might as well be a swastika. We gotta be inclusive. There's tiki torches. And,
I love that tiki
and truck
torture.
nuts. No, that would be
There probably are
so
truck nuts.
funny. If that was the fact that you thought that we weren't kidding.
Listen, I
Was
don't
a good
even
one,
know
Anya.
what's out there.
You don't.
I really don't.
My
I
favorite
hate
thing
the
is
happy
typing in
face that's like this. I hate that one. Like,
the
I
one
don't
that's
like
like,
boring.
hey, it's
creeps
too
me
bright.
out.
Like it looks like it's
Yeah.
on Adderall. It's like, great idea.
Hi. Like that
Yeah.
is so creepy. There's never an occasion for that. Don't send me that.
I'll say the one that, I think I've probably talked about this on the podcast before, bears repeating. Right when emojis like come out with new ones all the time, and the one had just come out of the baring teeth emoji that's like, yay.
That's my bottom one.
Is that your bottom one, Noah?
It's my bottom one because I misused it and
For so long.
For so long, and I was texting with you, and you're like, "Why do you keep putting that emoji? Do you know what it means?" And I'm like,
Yes.
I thought it was like a wide smile." And you're like, no, it's teeth chattering.
You might have autism
nervousness.
because you probably don't actually, because
Dr. Glaser.
but people with autism might think that's like, oh, teeth equals a smile. And I thought it was too, like, because it's just like this. It's like, but it's supposed to be like, yikes.
And aren't they green?
No.
Just kidding.
No, they can be green. There's ones that are green that are like sick.
I'm just kidding.
I like that one. My favorite one is like it came in the upgrade, which was like I guess like maybe half a year ago. It's the Twilight Zone eyes, where it's like swirls for eyes, and he's all like loopy and
that
confused.
one's really good. That
I
one's
can't
really
wait
good.
to look at these. On
we
the group
sound
chat.
they're
elderly.
No,
It's like stickers.
But the baring teeth one, I went on a date with a guy, and then afterwards I went on a podcast and like talked about him, and I knew he was listening, or it was a live radio show, and then afterwards, and I didn't say anything bad, but afterwards I was like, or I just got in my car afterwards, and the text I see from him, because he is listening, was 3 of those gritting teeth emojis. And I didn't know what it meant. I sent it to all my friends and go, what does this
my
mean?
God.
And half of them were like, he loved it. He's smiling. And the other half were like, I don't know. But this was 2017 before anyone knew what the fuck that one. Now it's very clearly like not a good thing. And then all the prayer hands is always a classic, even though that was originally meant to be a high five.
Are you kidding?
Isn't that interesting?
I thought it was like praise
I
the
thought
Lord.
it meant
Yeah.
thank you.
And then I thought
It
then
does
now.
now.
I think thank
Oh.
you.
They've changed it, so if you type in thank you in the emoji
That
thing,
comes
it
up.
comes up, but it originally was supposed to be like, woohoo, high five.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
But I'm going to look
Hate
at my
it.
emojis and just see which ones are like popping up for me first right now.
On the girls' chat, we use a volcano a lot. We made that the new hot, which is fun.
Volcano is a great thing instead of fire emoji. No one's going to misconstrue that. Okay, my most popular ones, heart. Oh, the TM. I put a TM on a lot of things when I like try to trademark it because it looks just funny.
TM.
When you're like, I'm going to take a shit, TM, or like you just like, it's like the shit or something.
oh,
like it's
so
a product.
don't try to steal it.
Don't try to take a shit in 5 minutes.
That's my
Volcano.
thing.
Yeah, you'll get
Cartwheel
sued.
is so fun.
Oh yeah, you use those. That's a very Anya one.
I got it from Sarah Lena.
Yeah. I think
Sarah Lena loves the cartwheel.
Spade told me a hilarious one that he would, I think he'll be okay with me saying this because he's said it to people before in front of me. He would like to DM a girl that he thought was cute or whatever. He would just do like a parachute, like dropping into your DMs, like a guy parachuting in, which is hilarious.
That's cute.
Yes.
And then one girl sent a scissors.
Oh, that's great. Date
That
her.
is so I love that girl.
And he was like, I was so into it. It was like,
Oh
that
my
was the
God.
best.
I would never
pursued
send
her more.
scissors.
Yeah, no
Probably.
kidding. Speaking of David Spade, you can come see us in Vegas at the Venetian July 30th and June 30th and July 1st. That's coming up next week. So if you want to plan a last minute trip, we also have 4 other dates on the books for throughout the end of the year at the Venetian. You can check those out at nikkiglaser.com. And then I'm going to be in Highlands, California with my dad opening for me this weekend on Saturday at the Yamava Theater at the casino out there in Highland, California. So if you're around. And then big tour coming up this fall. And let me listen to my own post right now. Chicago, Peoria, Englewood, New Jersey, Calgary, Napa, Wheatland, California, San Francisco, San Diego, Lawrence, Kansas, Riverside, Iowa, Boston, Baltimore, Rehoboth Beach, Iowa. God, why does it keep scrolling? Just stay. Detroit, Portland, Rama, Ontario, Munhall, Pennsylvania, and Denver, Colorado. And then there is a Seattle date that will be announced soon. It's not yet, but don't worry. You will have chances to get tickets. It will be a big announcement on my Instagram, so follow me on there for that. And yeah, so I will see you out on the road this week. What are you looking at me like that
You're
for?
so busy. I cannot get over it.
I know.
I just
busy
can't.
body.
No.
I
And then there
know.
happens to be other things I'm doing this summer too. On top of all
I
of that.
know.
I know.
What can I do
And I'm
to
also
help?
trying to become a singer. It's a little exhausting. And I'm ready to just give in.
Just kidding.
I love it. I love my life. All right. Thank you guys very much for listening to the show. Thank you, Mom, for being here. Thank you, Taylor, for coming back again. Thank you, Anya. Thank you, Noah. And thank you, Brian. We'll see you next week on the show. Don't be cut and just buy tickets to go see Matchbox 20. I'm telling you.
Rob Thomas.
Yeah, just check it off to Rob Thomas all day.
I'm not Rob. I'm sorry.
It's 3 a.m. I'm not lonely.